UB, Vail, Colorado.
Happy Saturday, it's February 24th. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and welcome to Good Morning Vail. In this first hour, we had conversations earlier in the week with Ben Belgrad of Drinking Vessels about their Vail Cup Collectors Club event that is happening today, so make sure that you get over there for that. Plus, Cameron Morgan, Executive Director of the Villar Performing Arts Center, and then Reconnected, an incredible nonprofit. All of that is happening in hour one, and that starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. We'll see you next time. Hi friends, welcome to a little behind the scenes. I'm Avisha Scarborough, and I'm so excited to be part of the team at TV8 in Vail. I love the outdoor lifestyle here, I love the arts and culture, and I love being part of this community. My show is called Vail Vibes with Avisha, where I tell you about all the amazing activities going on here in Vail and surrounding areas all year round.
Good morning, Vail.
We certainly love Drinking Vessels and all that they do here in the Valley, and today is their Vail Cup Collectors Club event, and I talked to Ben Belgrad earlier in the week all about it, so let's take a look. Now, our next guest needs no introduction. I've got the founder of Drinking Vessels and Bat Country
Studios.
I always get that mixed up. Bat Country Studios. Ben Belgrad joining me. How are you, Ben?
Good. Thank you so much for having me today.
Great to have you here. So we love having you on the show, and we do lots of features with what you do at Drinking Vessels, but it's such a cool concept. So tell me about Drinking Vessels and how you got started.
Absolutely. So I have a glass blowing studio in Minturn where we represent between 50 and 100 artists, primarily glass, but also ceramics and painters and all different kinds of mediums, specializing in drinkware, handmade drinkware. And so I got started when I was in college blowing glass and kind of evolved into this position of both being an artist and a curator.
That's so great. And it's just incredible what you do. And
Thank you.
It's such an interesting medium to really develop and to curate, and they're beautiful works of art. So you have some really exciting things happening, and especially coming up this weekend.
Yes, we do. Yes, our 7th annual Vail Cup Collectors Club is on Saturday from noon to 10. Over at Backcountry Studios in Minturn, and we have artists coming in from around the country to create collaborations at my studio, as well as then on Sunday the 25th, we'll be going to Vail as a group to go ride and enjoy the mountain.
That sounds great, and especially for people that are coming in from all over the country. So 7th annual, tell me about the event. So it runs, it's a full day event. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so it's all day at the studio. We have food from our friends down in Denver, Workbench. We have this drink sponsor, Yerba Star, which is like a yerba mate energy drink. We're going to have all kinds of exciting live performance art happening, from glass blowing to painting and other mediums. And it's just a cool way for collectors and artists and appreciators to all kind of commingle in an intimate space where everybody gets to have personal conversations and watch live glass art being made.
Well, that's true, and that's what I love about the Valley here, is that it's communal, and we really are very artistic. And so to be able to walk away with a piece of art like the glass that you've got here, and this is one of your personal works of art as well.
Yeah, so this is really a piece we made for the show.
Yeah.
This is a collaboration from a friend of mine, Yusheen, who lives over in Evergreen. And I'll pour some of this yerba star to start my morning.
I'm thinking I probably need one of those as well after we're done with this conversation.
Yeah,
here.
this is one of my favorite drinks, and they sponsor most of our shows.
Well, I can smell it. It smells great. And so loving this glass. So this is a collaboration, and this is your signature design, essentially.
Yeah, so this has my signature composition notebook pattern in the middle, and then Yusheen's reticellos, and you might be able to see on the bottom there, it's got another pattern underneath.
It's a stunning piece of work.
Thank you so much.
You know, I love collecting cups and things, so this is really great, and to have unique pieces. So you mentioned with the 7th annual, you've got over 100 artists, about 100 artists that you'll be featuring?
We're representing about 100 artists on our regular kind of programming, and there are between 15 and 20 artists in the show for this weekend for the Vail Cup Collectors Club. And that's a rotating group of artists. We try to highlight different techniques and different kinds of, types of drinkware in each show, but this show has an open theme, so people have made different kinds of submissions versus one thematic cup.
That's great. And so how do you connect with all of these artists all over the country and get them to display their work with you?
Yeah, so I've been building these relationships for over a decade since I started blowing glass. And for example, we just came back from Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago from a national trade show for glass artists. And so when I'm at those shows, I'm often meeting these artists and offering them the opportunity to showcase and sell on our platform, which is kind of a unique space because we sell one-of-a-kind handmade drinkware, and we're one of the only marketplaces for kind of work of this caliber.
That's great. And so each piece is unique. There's not going to be an exact replica of each piece of glassware that you
Correct.
sell. So talk to me a little bit about the process,
Sure.
and during the event as well, we get to actually witness these pieces being made. So can you
Yes.
explain a little bit about how it starts from inception to finish?
Yeah, so what we're doing is borosilicate flame working or scientific glass blowing, and we're applying that in an artistic application. So each of the colors that you see here in this cup are an individual piece of glass that we've, through a series of different patterns and techniques, incorporated into the final product. And so we're starting with like solid rods that are about the size of a number 2 pencil in
Okay.
diameter.
Wow.
And also like tubing of varying sizes and wall weights. And we're melting that material in a flame that's about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees. The molten glass is about 2,000 to 2,500 degrees. And then we're manipulating it with graphite tools, with our breath, with machines called lathes. And once the piece is made, we put it in a kiln or an oven where the piece can gradually cool down from that very hot temperature I described until it gets to room temperature the next day.
So you're telling me that this gorgeous piece of drinkware was made from a number 2 pencil, the size of a number 2 pencil, essentially.
Yeah, each of the individual colors and the stringers and then the lip wrap are all individual sticks of color.
That's amazing.
And at one point, this entire glass was molten liquid, and it was being spun to keep its form. And so Yushin spun this one in evergreen. I made some prep here at my studio, and we put it together. So that's kind of how these come to be.
That's great. And so the Vail Cup Collectors Club
You got it.
7th annual is
Yes.
Saturday from 12
Absolutely.
to 10. And so you can watch artists do this.
Yeah, I'm actually heading to Eagle Airport in a few minutes to pick up one of our guest artists from Austin, Texas. We have artists coming in from around the country to showcase their work and their skills because these are some of the most skilled artists in the world.
It's impressive and it's so beautiful. So
Thank you.
the event, you have to buy tickets. You can't
Yes.
just show up. So talk to me about the specifics and the details around that.
Yeah, great. So tickets are available at drinkingvessels.com for $20 for our GA tickets. That would be through the afternoon. And then we have VIP tickets for people who want to have first selection of the work that's being offered, and also like a gift package from our sponsors. And then for everybody on Sunday, anybody who has skis or a ski pass can come join us at Vail. We'll go take kind of my route that I like to ride because I live here full time. And then we'll have lunch on the mountain and kind of give everybody, again, an intimate experience to get to know these artists and these collectors and these art appreciators.
That's incredible. Sounds like a blast.
Yeah,
It really does. So in regard to glass blowing, this is a very interesting, if you're curious about it, it's great to come check out the event.
Yes.
And then also, if you wanted to get in and start to dabble on your own, tell me about that. Or is there an option to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Recently, over the last maybe 6 months, we've started offering classes at the studio, and this is for all skill levels, beginners who have never touched hot glass in their lives. You can expect to make a marble, a pendant, a paperweight, something kind of like a solid sculptural object that's small. And then after you make the piece with our instructors, it sits in the kiln. That takes about 8 hours. And then would be ready for pickup the next day. So you actually get to take home the piece that you make on your first try.
Oh, that's great. I love that idea, making a marble. So you can make a whole set if you wanted to.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
want to just practice and get used to working with the materials. Now, in regard to the first selection and the VIP tickets, so these pieces will be made on Saturday, and then you'll have to come back and pick them up later. Is that right?
Sort of. So many of the pieces have already been submitted by the artists.
Got
So
it.
this is the one that Yushin and I are submitting for the show together.
Okay.
I have about 28 or 30 cups that are made, and then we're all going to be making more cups throughout the weekend and actually throughout the week. So there will probably be around 40 to 50 cups available for purchase.
Okay.
And a few of them will have to be picked up later, but most of them are ready for pickup the day of the show.
Ready to walk away with it and enjoy the piece of art.
Absolutely.
That's so great. And you can make your entire cup collection a beautiful curated art collection as well.
Yeah, it's nice to open your cabinet and see a bunch of different unique pieces instead of a bunch of mass-produced, repetitive objects.
It's so true. And this piece that you have is stunning. So very
Thank you.
exciting, and best of luck to you. Seventh year in the running. So that's a great event.
Yeah, we're really proud to have been able to do this so many times, and we're excited to have many of you over on Saturday.
Absolutely. Ben, tell us one more time, where can we go for tickets?
Yeah, tickets are available at drinkingvessels.com. There's a link on the homepage that'll take you right to them for the Vail Cup Collectors Club.
Awesome. The Vail Cup Collectors Club on Saturday. It's going to be an incredible event. You get to experience and interact with such really amazing and unique artists and see the work that they do. So head over to drinkingvessels.com to buy your tickets and hang out with Ben. Sounds like a blast.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Vail.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Thank you for watching Good Morning Vail. Have an amazing day. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow right here for more Good Morning Vail. Bye, everyone. Hi, I'm Gretchen Bleshaw. You might recognize me from the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. Maybe you hear my voice on the radio from time to time or see me out at a concert or two. I love concerts. If you see me out, the long mermaid hair, I'm almost 6 foot tall. It's hard to miss. Come and say hi, give me a high five, and make sure to watch me right here on TV8.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day, and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who had worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Good morning, Vail.
The Vail Performing Arts Center is such a unique place to see all kinds of concerts, shows, and much more. Ross talked to Cameron Morgan all about the latest and greatest and the upcoming events that they still have on the docket for this season. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. One of the gems of our valley is the Vail Performing Arts Center up in Beaver Creek. And joining us this morning on the couch, a special friend, the Executive Director, Cameron Scott Morgan. Cameron.
Ross!
How we doing?
I'm doing well, bud. How are you?
Long time no see.
I know. It's good to hang out with you this morning.
Yeah. So the VPAC, man, how's it been going up there this winter?
Hey, we're having a phenomenal season so far. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I really am. We're just about, we've just crossed the halfway mark in our winter season. We're still about 20 shows ahead of us between now and closing day of Beaver Creek Mountain, which will be, our last show as well for the winter season. And the audiences have been fantastic. The artists have been incredible. Dream come true up there.
Yeah, and the variety up there is what's kind of special about that, right? So we love seeing all the variety. What's kind of been your favorite show this year so far?
When you say the variety and then you ask me to pick a favorite, Ross, it's like, well, we had an incredible comedy magic show this past week. Some illusionists from South Korea. Like it was really really cool classic comedy, a lot of magic involved there.
Cool.
Like that real vaudeville feel style. We had Lee Bryce
Cool.
back beginning of February, and I grew up on country music,
Right.
and it felt like we were in like his living room with him. He was just jamming out. Like that was amazing. Gosh, I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
it's hard to pick. Every
And-
night's a new favorite.
And Stomp was just in town. How were those shows?
So this is the first time I've gotten to see Stomp.
Cool.
Like I've been like, I've wanted to see Stomp like every time I've gone to New York. They just closed in New York. Like, oh no, oh my goodness.
So cool.
It was amazing. Like I watched both Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Mind blowing.
So now, whenever you're like walking around town and you see a trash can, are you like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba?
You know what? You know what? They had this section in there where they're standing on oil drums and they're strapped into ski boots.
Oh, jeez.
I feel like we could make that happen around here.
Oh man, one of the best parts, one of my favorite things about the Valar Center, right, is it's right in the heart of Beaver Creek. And Beaver Creek's such an awesome place. You go out for a day of skiing and snowboarding, you get a nice dinner, and then you end it with a show, a world-class show in a 535-seat venue. Just a beautiful location. What's kind of been going on with the venue this year, and anything new going on?
Yeah. So last year, folks might remember we got a brand new sound system, big L Acoustics Cara sound system. It's state of the art, amazing, incredible.
Can we shout out Cheyenne real quick?
Oh my gosh, Cheyenne, our technical director. He's one of the most brilliant people.
Insane.
Like, it's really incredible. Phenomenal job. So we got a new sound system about a year and a half ago now, a little bit over that. This past fall, we replaced the theater's acoustic banners because now the sound system's so good, you got to make sure every other element really matches that. And it's been an incredible upgrade, both acoustically, like sonically, as well as visually. It really pulls the room together so beautifully. We've had some incredible a cappella groups, classical music in there that it feels so incredible. You know, I get to talk to the artists before the show, after the show, and even just this past weekend, when I was talking to the artists from Stomp, I said, you know, how does this room feel? Like, what was it like for you? And you know, they're not up there just on an acoustic guitar, but they're physical musicians. It's like, it was so wonderful. It's a beautiful space. It feels incredible to get to perform on the stage, and I think that experience translates for the artists that we bring in, as well as the audiences that attend.
I think that's just a common thread across everyone that comes through that venue. They personally love it, and that's why they keep coming back, right?
That's right. And we've got some incredible artists up ahead this winter season. Some that are really going to take full use of that sound system, including this Friday, February 23rd, Grace Potter.
Awesome.
One of the most incredible voices in rock and roll. I mean, she's going to bring the house down.
Yeah, and she's performed in the Valley before, so definitely want to check that show out. Going back to the speakers, I remember hearing that they're set up so every seat gets the same experience. Whether you're in the front row or the top row, you get the same sound experience, right? So that's kind of cool.
That's right. Yeah, I was just talking to Cheyenne over the weekend, and he said the goal for the new sound system, the new PA, was that every seat would have the same or fall within a 3 decibel range, right? So the very front seat in the front of the orchestra to the very back row of the balcony, which is only 80 feet from the front of the stage. It's really, really intimate.
Right.
But it would fall within 3 decibels. And they exceeded that goal. The range is only 1.5 decibels.
Amazing.
Like, it's that same experience.
Amazing. I know you're doing a great job kind of leading it as the executive director now, but the staff that you have up there from top to bottom is just world class, and that's what makes the venue run so smoothly, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about we've got 20 shows ahead of us for the winter season. We've already looking at quite a few shows for this summer coming up. Next winter, all the way into spring of 2026, we're looking out. And the team, my team is amazing at working on so many different timelines, right? They've got the show this Friday, they've got the 3 shows. Next week, they've got the rest of the season, and they're like planning, thinking, and everything is executed so wonderfully.
Right. And what another really awesome part about the VPAC is how affordable it is, right? You get this kind of like world-class experience. We're looking at the calendar now. Grace Potter, comedian Nick Swartzen, all these. Where's the puppy one, right? What's the puppy
Puppy
one?
Palace Live, yeah, in April. It's scrolling. It's scrolling. We're almost there. We're almost there. One more.
Look at that
There it is.
packed schedule. Yeah, there's the Puppy Pals Live. Some
Yeah, some wonderful family, wholesome, fun entertainment. We get all the way, I mean, you see their neighbor, right? $25 general admission. We have a wonderful night for folks who enjoy that jam feel, come together and celebrate what will be the end of a wonderful winter season.
Yeah, another
here in the mountains.
Another good one, right? And we saw some star shows in there, right? Supporting the arts, reaching students.
That's right.
Another just amazing thing that you guys do up there, getting some local kids to see world-class entertainment and get some culture kind of in their lives. So that's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. We get about 8,000 Eagle County elementary and middle school students through the doors to enjoy some wonderful live performance.
Yeah. So love the VPAC. Also love you, Cameron. What's it like being the executive director? You come from this awesome kind of diverse background in the arts, and what's it been like for you to kind of lead that venue?
You know, it's been so fun, and it's been such an honor and a privilege to be trusted to really step into that role, and it's just been a dream come true. Like, I have a wonderful team, a wonderful support structure. Wonderful support both from my team, from the Vail Valley Foundation and my coworkers and colleagues, as well as the broader community. It's really incredible to kind of be wandering around Beaver Creek or in Vail, up Valley, down Valley, and folks here that I'm involved with the VPAC. They're so, like, I don't know, it's just so warm and welcoming and incredible.
Yeah, it's one of those, if you know about the VPAC, you go quite a bit. And then if you don't know, the first time you get in there, you're kind of hooked on it, right?
Oh, absolutely. I always say we just got to get a new audience member in the door once and they're hooked.
And then Cameron, you're the one up on stage introducing the bands and stuff. So if you're there and they introduce Cameron, be sure to give him a loud ovation and welcome Cameron.
Absolutely. I'll be on stage at the beginning of the show. I'll see you on the way out at the doors after the show. Be sure to stop by and say hello.
What's kind of like the biggest thing you've learned through this process so far?
Biggest thing I've learned, you know, it kind of goes back to that operating on so many different timelines, because we're constantly we've got 50 shows every winter, up to 20 shows in the summer, and lots of things throughout. So really balancing and prioritizing things, making sure that stuff you follow through on, you check in on somebody, follow up on an email, like all of those kind of small things that kind of collectively build up to be big things.
Yeah, you say prioritizing, and in the middle of all this chaos, you have a wedding being planned, I think, as well,
That's right,
and a
that's
lot
right.
going on in the other half of your life. So just kudos to you for getting all that done.
Oh, thank you. That's, like I said, it's all about the support structure that really keeps me going.
Love that. Cam, anything I should have asked you, man? Anything else people should know about the VPAC or the rest of the winter?
Well, it's what is it? It's Tuesday. It's 8:30, and we just announced 2 shows for our summer season.
Sweet.
So we've got, like I said, about 20 shows coming up for this rest of this winter season. 2 incredible bands, groups that are coming in this summer. We just announced we've got Straight No Chaser, a male a cappella group, coming July 19th, and we've got Eli Young Band September 21st. And quick story. So we just had Lee Bryce beginning of February. He sang Eli Young Band's Crazy Girl, because he wrote it for them.
Cool.
And he said on stage during the show, hey, if you ever see Eli and the group, tell him I say hello. And at this point, we hadn't confirmed Eli Young Band yet, but I knew we were talking. I was like, please let it happen, because I want to tell them that Lee Bryce told me to tell them that he said hello, and I'm going to get to
You're
going
to get that chance. That's awesome. So kind of extending that season too. That's cool to see.
Absolutely.
A lot going on up at that Vail Performing Arts Center. Beautiful, really a gem of our valley. Cam, thanks so much for joining us this morning, man, and good to see you.
Thanks, Ross.
Stay tuned for more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Well, Archer and I are going to get headed on further down the trail, but I hope you'll catch up with us a little bit later. Hi, I'm Ben Roof, and I'm one of the new hosts here at TV8. I'm so excited to share all of my explorations throughout the Vail Valley with my dog Archer, where we'll be taking you to hiking trails, biking trails, maybe we'll go rafting, fishing, or whatever else we can come up with. I'm so excited to share all of that with you in my new segment, Outdoor Adventures. Don't forget to catch up with us every day right here at TV8 Vail or at tv8vail.com, because there's always more for you on 92.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tv8vail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Our valley is filled with incredible nonprofits. Kevin had a conversation with the Reconnected Foundation. Let's see what they have to say.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. One thing that we love about this community is how everybody pitches in. There's always support and inspiration wherever direction you look. I'm here with Rob Sheeran, Reconnection Foundation, and we talk about, recovery and reconnection. Rob, kind of go into it a little bit and tell me exactly what you do, because there's a lot of support out there, and a lot of the words we use sometimes are very general in terms. So let's dissect that a little bit and drill down.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me
Yeah.
on. And I think when people hear the idea of recovery, they either think like the previous guest, like physical therapy, right?
Right.
Or like just sobriety from drugs and alcohol. And
Yep.
for sure, that's a big part of what we do. We help people find recovery from drugs and alcohol. But like something we're trying to do is help people understand like recovery is not necessarily synonymous with sobriety. There's a multitude of different things just to engage in a pathway that's really like bettering yourself and setting goals like regarding addictive behaviors or maladaptive coping mechanisms, and just really trying to work through those and develop these healthy habits. And so we offer peer support, one-on-one coaching. So think of it as like a life coach or accountability buddy, someone to help you set goals and help you achieve those goals and connect with other resources. We also have recovery support meetings that take place on a weekly basis right here in our office in Avon. And we also have different social events. Every Thursday we team up with Vail Valley Wellness, and we skin up Beaver Creek and ski down underneath the fireworks at night. And so
nice.
like, you know, like I think that covers the spectrum of like what is recovery. Like, sure, it's a little bit of work, you know, like maybe meeting with somebody and connecting with them,
Right.
you know, and maybe going to some sort of support group, sure, and starting to build that community. But like, it's also skinning up the mountain, skiing under fireworks. Like,
Right.
That's, I think, the piece that people miss a lot.
Yeah, and the group, I mean, we talked about, like our previous guest, if your mobility is down and you can't do some of the things you love, a lot of times there may be a bit of depression, or there may be, what do I do? Well, this group of support individuals is there, and you can talk through things and just be part of the community without necessarily needing to do all the physical activity.
Right. And, you know, when making a big lifestyle change, like I hear all the time, like Vail's a drinking town with a skiing problem or something like that, right? And it's like all my friends drink, so like I just stopped and now I just sit at home, you know, and and it's like, well, like you don't have to stay in. Like there's a lot more people that live in Vail that are active in the recovery community than most people know. Like more than I know, and I work in it full time, and I'm constantly meeting people. Someone at the gym yesterday, they're like, "What do you do for work?" I tell them, they're like, "Oh, I'm sober 5 months," and it's like, "Hell yeah, come on out," you know. And so like, there is another way, and it's really like cool to see the community starting to build here.
Yeah, and you know, living in a destination where everybody is always on vacation, obviously it is a party town, and everybody here, and that separation of living here and working here and trying to separate yourself from the people that are here enjoying it, it's like, well, it's a party all the time.
Right. Like my life is your vacation, so like I'm gonna live sometimes like I'm on vacation, and it's a difficult place. Like the rural resort Colorado, like towns struggle a lot with like mental health and addiction problems, and you know, we're really lucky where we are to have the support of like Vail Health and their behavioral health initiative going in, you know, looking at all these other small resort towns, like, and seeing what they're doing, I'm like, oh wow, we're a little bit ahead of the game. And so to see this new development going down in Edwards to really help and support the community is like exciting. And so.
And that's going to be quite the complex too. That's going to be able to support, again, we talk about support as a general term, support the members of this valley tremendously with what they're adding.
Right.
Now, you do a lot of other things too, like I know you've done runs. And things like that. Are there any of those things planned coming up?
Yeah, so we did do like a big run a couple years ago from Vail to Aspen, and that's kind of how we got our start. And then last year we did like an Everesting thing where we rode our bikes the elevation of Mount Everest.
Wow.
A bachelor gulch right here. Like, that's so right now we were talking about what we don't have anything set for this upcoming fall, but we're working right now to figure out whether it's how intense it's going to be. So I don't know if we need to run from Vail to Aspen or bike Mount Everest. Something a little more.
You know, those are the things you look at from a support and peer standpoint. That's an accomplishment when you do things like that. But accomplishments don't need to be Mount Everest. They can be simple things that you set daily goals on attaining.
Yeah, like the consistency is much better than like, oh, crushing it and then falling off, you know, like, and so I think that's what people struggle with the most, like in recovery is like, oh, they're feeling great and they overcommit and then they're exhausted and they like just return. And I don't think that's just a recovery thing. I think it's a human thing.
And with a support or a support group, sometimes people are too hard on themselves and they don't acknowledge when they do reach those little milestones. But being part of a group, when you go in and you talk about it, you're going to have that team there congratulating you, you know, great job, or encouraging you to move a little bit further. And sometimes that's all we need, just that little push.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's like people around you notice it sometimes more quickly than you do. And you're like, wow. Just like getting in shape, like somebody might start to notice, oh, wow, you look a lot better. And you're like, yeah, I didn't even realize it.
Well, we were talking about the segment too, like what's an accountability buddy and what's that really mean?
Right.
But it's having that person there to kind of encourage you and keep you along. And then you do the same. And when you do it to them, then you reciprocate and you feel an obligation. I've got to fulfill my obligation because I'm on them about attaining their goals.
100%. Yeah. And it's like, and developing that rapport with someone. So when it's a small valley, when you run into somebody that you had confrontation with, or like, and you're like kind of deer in headlights, you have somebody to call and just like let know what happened. You know, you don't have to return to, I got to go get high or whatever the case may be.
Right. That escape to get away from it.
100%.
But you've got a website, reconnection.org, I believe it is.
Yep.
So people can go on, find out some events that are going on, maybe when some of those things are happening, when you're going to skin up to Beaver Creek next and ski down under the fireworks, because that's just an amazing experience.
Yeah. And we also have Instagram, and our handle is reconnected_foundation. And so you can look us up there. We post a lot of our events there.
Awesome. Well, Rob, thanks for coming in and sharing, because it's such an important part of the Valley, whether it is a substance abuse issue or just getting out there and meeting people to get that encouragement, to get that boost, and get a group of friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the Immersion Theater.
Welcome to the Vibe Report with Avisha. This is where I tell you all about the exciting happenings around town. This Saturday and Sunday, there will be live music at Gambit Bar, Shakedown Bar, Park Hyatt Beaver Creek, the Red Lion, the Blue Cow, the Weston Riverfront, and the Revel Lounge at the Hyde. On Saturday, Aritza's Spanish Tapas and Wine in Beaver Creek will have a live flamenco show. Also on Saturday, Chasing Rabbits will have an intimate night of grooves with Trace Mortimer and Monty Kiddo, and house calls with Rossi at Chasing Rabbits is on Sunday. Also on Saturday night is Cocktails and Clay at the Alpine Arts Center in Edwards. You can join and make ceramic aspen vases, and registration is at alpineartcenter.org. And the sky's the limit when it comes to the Youth Aviation Program. They'll be building a full-size biplane on Saturday at the Eagle County Regional Airport. Check out Eagle Aviators for more info on how to register. That's it for this weekend's Vibe Report, friends. Be sure to follow the Vail Vibes TV8 Instagram for more info, and as always, spread the good vibes.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Good morning, Vail.
Kim Smith with Adventures in Coaching always brings such interesting conversation to the table, and especially topics that are very important to everyday living and living your best life. She chats with financial advisor Mark Heaton all about what you can do to best plan for your future.
Hi there, my name is Kim Smith and I'm with Adventures in Coaching, and I am here today with Mark Eaton, who is a financial advisor from Edward Jones on Market Street in Eagle, and we're going to talk a little bit about his professional journey from where he is today to like how he started out and all of the challenges along the way. So welcome, Mark. It's so great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Kim.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
Well, I'm a financial advisor for Edward Jones. My office is on Market Street in Eagle.
Yeah.
And I've been with Edward Jones about 3 years, but I had an extensive career in finance before that.
Right, right. And I was so excited when we started talking about your career because it really highlights a lot of the different changes that people go through in their career and some challenges and all of that. So tell me a little bit about how you started out.
Well, I was young. It was a long time ago. I was 16 years old. I just graduated high school in England, and I applied for a job as a messenger in a mailroom for a financial company in the city of London, the financial district of London, I worked my way up from the bottom. Really, I first of all got the opportunity, so I was quite excited about that. But what I did is I just did what I was told. I was smart enough to take my exams. I got my first exam at 18, UK equivalent of Series 7, and worked my way up the company into futures and options trading by the time I was 18. And then I moved on, moved from open outcry pit trading, which is where I started. Most people wouldn't have ever heard of that now because everything's done electronically. And then my career evolved from open outcry pit trading to electronic trading, from a trading desk up in an office. And then I got the opportunity to move to America and Chicago with the company I was with at the time. I built a trading desk and had a long career at a futures brokerage, institutional futures brokerage company in Chicago.
Yeah, so you've really had a lot of steps that kind of took you through from the very beginning, where you started at 16, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
And when we were talking, you told me about how like you really knew and you felt like this was your purpose when you started at 16, like you're like, this is a career opportunity. So talk to me a little bit about that. And then also the big change you had to make from going on or being on the trading floor to the electronic world of
Sure.
Trading, and what that looked like for you.
I always took the opportunity when I was given a chance to progress in my career and take more responsibility. I never turned that down. If I wanted to move up, I just grabbed the responsibility, and that included trading. It included moving. When I saw things going electronic, I jumped from the trading floor to the office when the first opportunity came up. I've always grabbed opportunities, seen the future. The future that doesn't happen that quickly. So you get to see things changing in the economy, and through. So I took advantage of seeing what was going to happen. Really.
Yeah, and it sounds like you really put yourself out there and grabbed onto those opportunities, and probably learned what you needed to learn to grow, which is so much about like how important it is when we're trying to grow in our careers to really like say, hey, yes, pick me, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this extra work and go that extra mile. And it sounds like you really did that.
Indeed, I was always dedicated at that part of my life to my industry. Sometimes my family took a bit of a back seat because I was always trying to move up in the company and do well and take on more responsibility. But also when I wanted to make that move, when an opportunity came up to move to America, I was in a position with my young family at the time to be able to do that and not be too scared about making that big jump. When fortunately I was supported by the company I was with to make that move, so that helped as well.
Right. So that must have been very exciting and a big challenge. And you told me that you thought maybe it was going to be a 2 or 3 year opportunity at the most.
Indeed.
And tell me a little bit about what happened there.
Yeah, that was the initial plan, that I'd be going back home after 3 years, and I thought that gave me a bit of a comfort zone, I guess. But then after I got there, my wife and I just loved living in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. We thought it was a great place to bring up our 2 young daughters, and we asked for the opportunity to stay. My business was going really well. I was working nights at the time, talking to my European-based clientele in the European hours. So the company I was with said, absolutely, you're doing great business. We'll support you to continue this. And they got me a green card. So the rest is history after that, really.
Yeah, that's really the American dream, right? Be able to come and grow your career. And in your case, you were able to stay. And, that's just amazing. So talk to me a little bit about what happened sort of towards the end of Chicago and then how you ended up in Colorado.
Yeah, so I was working for another company at the time, and I was running a trading desk of 20 plus employees, and the company that I was working for asked me to start laying off those employees. That wasn't any fun for me.
Right, that's hard.
I don't think it's fun for anyone, to be honest. But it became, we got to a stage where I couldn't see the business running well, and it was clear that they wanted the business to be in New York. So again, I saw the future coming, so I made plans to make a change. I started building my home here in Colorado, and we knew that things would change. So I made the plan, and when there wasn't any other opportunity to stay in Chicago, I took the opportunity to take severance and move with my family to Colorado, and my children were just graduating high school or college at the time, so that was an also fortunate time.
Yeah, that sounds so exciting and also challenging. What were some of the things that you put in place to make sure that you were going to be able to sort of land on your feet when you came to Colorado?
Well, I've always found and planned for the future. So in terms of making sure that financially I haven't got any strings attached to make those changes, and that includes making sure I don't have a lot of debt to pay. So if you make those changes, you've really only got major bills like your next mortgage to move into, and so you don't have debt around your neck. You make sure that you've got a solid plan for if anything does go wrong, for if you need to make a change. So that just gives you support and makes you not too worried that you can make these changes by preparing for it. I call it the 5 Ps.
Oh, that's great.
So proper planning prevents poor performance.
Okay, that's a good one to remember. I'm going to write that down. And I always talk to people about when they're looking to change their career, among other things, run the numbers. Make sure you have a runway. Make sure you've got the right amount of savings to support you. Maybe you have to go and get a part-time job for a while to while you're getting established in a new career. Now, I know this isn't a new career for you, but it was definitely a pivot in terms of what you're doing within the financial industry. And you had to really, start out on your own, so to speak, here in Colorado. So, yeah, it's very exciting to hear that. And how are you doing today? And what?
Well, where I was at, I was dealing with institutions and trading futures and options and putting on hedges for large companies. And what I'm doing now, I'm helping my clients, my friends, my community to make intelligent and quite emotional changes to their personal finances.
Right.
So making sure my clients stay the course, know what we've seen in the past will hopefully guide us in to the future good investments.
Right.
And it's so difficult nowadays, especially with the volatility in the markets, for people to stay the course and trust what we've seen in these times of change in history.
Yeah, and it certainly has been changing. And how fulfilling has this been for you?
I really enjoy it. Where I was in a dog-eat-dog world where everyone, my colleagues would try and take my clients if I was away on vacation for too long, now I get the support from my family, my colleagues, even in different Edward Jones branches. We are such a strong community that I know that I can trust everyone. So that's really important to me.
Yeah.
It's totally different from my last career in institutional finance.
Yeah, that must be really wonderful to have that here and be building that sense of community. So if somebody really wanted to get a hold of you to find out more about how to work with you, how would they do that, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. So my door's always open at Edward Jones. We're 56 Market Street. And they can just call me on 970-328-0639 or email me at mark.eaton@edwardjones.com.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story and your journey. It's very inspiring. With that, if you're interested in learning about how coaching might help you on your journey, please reach out to me at kim@adventuresincoaching.com or just go to my website, adventuresincoaching.com. And again, thanks, Mark, and have a great day.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi, it's Max from TV8 Vail. We want to invite you all to the Wacky Winter Reading Program. It's open to all ages. All you have to do is read 10 books or 1,000 pages. For more information, go on our website, tv8vail.com. And thank you to our sponsor, the Eagle Valley Library District.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these 2 luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Welcome to the 8 o'clock hour of Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and in this second hour, we are all over the board with some very interesting conversation. I chatted with Emily Gross about AI and the use in the job search, plus Bill Humbert. He tells us all about how to watch your manners when you're out to eat with a future employer, plus adventures in coaching, and then Covered Bridge for World Bartender Day. They show us how to make a delicious cocktail. All of that is happening in this second hour, so stay tuned. It starts right now. All right.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller on TV8 Vail. Tracy brings you the best in fresh and healthy foods for the active outdoor lifestyle. Stream online at tv8vail.com or find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on 92.
Think Big features top kid inventors who face off against each other to see who can come up with the most innovative and creative invention. In Think Big, kids acquire and showcase their skills in creativity, science, marketing, design, and don't forget, teamwork. Check your local listings and watch the world's most innovative kids. They create and invent new toys, games, websites, and new modes of transportation. Tune in to Think Big.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interest across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Fleshaw, host of TV8 Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tv8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Dog Tales is America's premier dog lovers magazine show. This series is all about dogs and the people who love them. Featuring dogs of all sizes, shapes, and breeds, keeping you up to date with all the latest news from the dog world. Sit back and enjoy a fun program for the whole family. Check your local listings and tune in to Dog Tales.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, the new year may be past us, but we are still in the first quarter of 2024. I had a conversation with Kim Smith from Adventures in Coaching about how New Year's resolutions fail and how you can best circumvent those failures and all of the fun things around it. So we are in the start of a new year, and you know what that means. New year, new you, new resolutions, and lots going on. But as we are continuing to progress throughout the year, you're probably going, okay, what's happening here? So joining me on the couch today, and you've seen her many, many times, is the career and business success coach, Kim Smith. Kim, how are you?
I'm great. So glad to be here again, and Happy New Year. Even though it's the end of January, but this topic is going to be very timely.
It's so true. I figure, you know, we're sitting here on the couch, and Happy New Year. I'm still in the new year for at least the next 3 months.
Of course.
Well, love having another Kim on the couch with me today. So let's talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions, right? We're at the end of January, but people tend to set aggressive and very lofty and optimistic goals, and then, you know, as they keep progressing forward, talk to me about why people set New Year's and resolutions.
Well, you know, we have so much optimism at the beginning of the year. It's sort of a time to reset and reframe and think about maybe the things that didn't go well last year. So we just sort of sometimes arbitrarily throw things out there and say like, all right, I'm going to just, you know, I'm going to work on this or work on that. So it's very normal to do that. But what often happens is that, you know, by the end of January, you know, 90% of resolutions basically fail. You know, people aren't working on them anymore, and really here to talk about like why that happens.
It's so true. And, you know, I think for me personally, I had a couple of goals that I set in January, and now I'm going, time's slipping away.
Okay.
So why do goals and people fail at reaching and staying on track with their resolutions?
Right. Well, and that is the crux, and the big question is, you know, why? And a lot of times it's just because maybe they're arbitrary, but often we aren't necessarily tying that goal to our purpose and our why and what's important to us, and really asking like, why am I doing this? Is it because there's some outside pressure for me to do it, or is it something that really is something that I'm very attached to and that I need to do and want to do, not what I need to do? So that's like one of the big ones. One of the next ones is just basically not having a plan in place, like figuring out like how to get from point A to Z, you know, and all the steps in between. So it's really easy to get stuck on that, like, it's a huge goal, how do I get started? And that's very, very common. And another one is just not really holding yourself accountable and having maybe an accountability partner. And then a big final one is, and it's not final, but one of the big ones is, you know, what are our fears around success and our limiting beliefs? Is there something that might be holding us back from trying or even trying to move forward with a new goal?
All of those things. Well, outside pressure.
Yeah.
Too big of a goal. How do you get there? You know, what do you do? Holding yourself accountable. Those are all very, very important things. So let's talk a little bit about creating a timeline. You know, how do you do that? How do you even begin to think about it? And what's the structure?
Right. Well, a timeline is really, you know, it could be driven by an outside force, like perhaps you need to get a new job because you're being pushed out somewhere, you're seeing the writing on the wall, you're ready to do something. Or it could be that, you know, within a certain time frame, you'd like to make a change and transition in your career or in your life, whatever that is. But I think it's really important to put something on a calendar and then work back from there and then have those baby steps. Because if you don't start mapping out some of those baby steps, you're not going to ever reach that end goal. So, you know, making sure that you put something in the calendar for maybe it's every day or maybe it's every week, but you check in and you're really kind of measuring where you are each time.
You know, that's so true. A specific example, and I've talked about this previously, I used to dance for a professional team, and I wrote the audition date all over a calendar, all over my bathroom mirror. So that is, I love that, you know, setting a goal and then working your way backwards.
Right.
It's really important.
And then what were your steps in between? Just curiosity. Out of curiosity.
Without getting into too much detail, there was some physical aspects of it. So certain goals from that perspective, you know, I wanted to be at this place with my physicality. I wanted to have this part of my dance, and then hitting those monthly timelines and kind of just holding myself to the fire and saying, you know, what's more important, the right now moment or the long term? And you know, it took some discipline and accountability for sure.
Discipline is a really good term too. It's like, what am I going to do to hold myself to doing this? And sometimes it's that fear of that end goal. Like, you've got this deadline, you've got that, you know, that tryout or whatever it was, and you had to have that done for then. And then I think that's important to make sure that you have something that you're, you know, you're working towards and there's a reason behind it.
So let's talk about the goals and working towards them. How do you figure out what is a realistic goal for yourself personally?
Yeah, and realistic is that question, and it's sometimes hard. So what I like to tell people is to be sure that you know what you can manage, you know, what is realistic. So if a goal is too easy, you're probably not going to do it. But if it's way too hard and you're asking yourself to do way too many things and you're already busy schedule, you might be like, oh, I'm just going to blow it off, and so therefore forget it in like 2 weeks, right? So come up with something that's realistic and be kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to make changes as you need to, but still hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, no, that's great. And so you mentioned the changes and figuring out what those realistic goals are. So you set a goal, you're starting to work towards it, you're making some changes here and there, and you're going, well, wait a minute, I don't know if this is what I want anymore. So how do you tweak, the goals or the resolutions or whatever you're setting to basically accelerate your personal goals?
Right. Yeah. And there's been so many times when I've been working with people and they're like, well, wait, I've done all this work and suddenly I see it differently and I want to go a different direction. And so, it's about taking stock in where you are and why are you changing it? Is it because you really want to, or is it because you're now in fear and you maybe don't want to achieve that goal anymore because something, your limiting belief is getting in the way? So it's a matter of, kind of deciding where you are with that.
Yeah, I think I love taking that and simplifying things. So, how do you simplify, look at it from an easier perspective and saying, okay, I have all of these goals. This is what I want to do. Let's break it down. So like you mentioned, going from A to Z, how do you go from A to B, B to C, et cetera? And how do you simplify that?
And I think it's really about figuring out what are those steps and what are those realistic steps and what's it going to take. And sometimes it takes some research. You may have to reach out to people that have done it in the past, or, if you're looking to change a career, what are those things that you need in order to move into that? Is it that you need to make sure you have enough, in your bank account so that you can hold on for a while? What is that going to look like? Do you need some additional training? Do you need to network? What does your resume look like, for example? All of these things, map those out and then work on them, every week and prioritize, right? Some things are going to take longer than others.
That's true. Well, Kim, I wish I had met you when I had all of those goals back in the day. So what is working with a career and business success coach? What does that mean? How do I work with you? How do you find a coach that fits what you're looking for?
Yeah, well, I think, there's a lot of coaches out there and, it has to be a nice personality fit, I think, for both of you. But really, coach is here to help you to determine, if you have a goal or something you're wanting to change. And, a lot of times I'm working with people through transitions and changes, and I'll identify, we'll say, what is your goal and how does that relate to your purpose and your why, like I said initially. And then, what is the plan? How are we going to put this together? So you're not having to figure it out in your head by yourself. I'm going to be asking the questions what is it going to take? Where do we need to go? I'll be giving some insight, to your process and what I think, you should do. But I'm also going to really help guide you and partner with you to reach those goals. And, a couple of the really big things that a coach does is hold you accountable. If we're meeting weekly or every other week or even once a month, I'm going to say, like, let's determine what are the things that we're going to work on. And the next time we get together, hopefully you'll have those done. And if not, we'll say, like, well, why? What happened? This isn't an opportunity to make you feel bad about something. It's just to say, well, what got in the way and how can we avoid that pitfall in the future? And then finally, really looking at limiting beliefs, because as much as we like to think we know what our limiting beliefs are, I go through a pretty in-depth process to figure out what those are, to see, what those small voices are in your head that are, maybe holding you back from success or holding you back from trying harder. What are those self-doubts? What are those things that might, get in the way? So
I love that. So it sounds like you help people break through their barriers, their personal barriers.
Exactly.
And then on the flip side, you're not coming down on them like a boss would in a job, but more so in let's talk about it and let's work through it and set some more goals. I love what you do. That's so great.
Yeah.
So Kim, if we wanted to hire you, if I wanted to personally hire you, where do I go for more information and how do I keep up with what you're doing?
Well, I'm here local in the Vail Valley, and you can reach me at kim@adventuresandcoaching.com or just go to my website, adventuresandcoaching.com, and reach out to me. I offer a free or complimentary first session if you're interested, just to find out a little bit more about how we would work together. So yeah, please reach out.
Just make sure it's a good personal fit. And,
yes.
And all of the fun things. Well, I love that. Kim, you were wonderful. It's great to be
you.
officially on the couch with you.
Thanks,
I've
Kim.
watched all of your previous sessions, so I love that I'm here.
Awesome.
And again, we appreciate all that you're doing. And I hope that a lot of people reach out, because January is over, but that means the year is still in full swing.
Right, and we still have opportunities at any time to make changes.
It's absolutely true. Now, stay tuned. We've got a bit more, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Well, we just walked outside of Eyepieces with two of their new exciting products that we're going to get to try out on the mountain here at Beaver Creek. Well, we're back on the chairlift, headed back up to the top of Beaver Creek, and we're gonna focus on the Murak Wave Cell helmet from Anon. And this one's pretty interesting because one thing I noticed already is it has this cool boa right here in the back that'll allow you to adjust and loosen the helmet around your head. It just fits so well, but you can adjust it to make it fit even better. So that's one thing I've noticed that I like so far on this helmet. The other cool piece of this helmet is the wave cell technology it has. As you can kind of see through the ventilation, that green wave cell technology inside the helmet. And what it really does is it balances out the impact. So when you hit your head on the snow, it balances out the impact of where you hit your head. The wave cell behaves like a network of hundreds of interconnected shock absorbers connecting to your head and the outer shell of the helmet. Wave cell helps distribute the impact energy through its network of cells and reduces impact forces like the crumple zone of a car perhaps, and then helps divert rotational forces by flexing and gliding. So we're gonna jump to the next product that we picked up from Eyepieces today, and it is these pink protective Anon M5 goggles that are super sweet. They come with the built-in face protection, and I've got this pink lens on today, so I should be seeing pretty well through this overcast weather that we've got out in front of us at Beaver Creek. But let's go try them out. So another cool feature about these M5 goggles from Anon is the built-in face technology like we talked about, but check this out. It's magnetic, so it just pops on and off super easily. You can snap it right back on, right in and out. All right, so if I had to rate both products right now, I'd give the M5s, a soft 10 out of 10, and I would give the Murak helmet also, probably a 10 out of 10, but that's just me. Make sure to go to Eyepieces and try these unique products out for yourself. Thanks for joining us, and I hope to see you on the mountain.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, real homeowners tackle really big renos.
Welcome to the ugliest house in the neighborhood.
It's a wild ride from before to after.
If we go to the tile store one more time, only one of us is coming out alive.
Well, I didn't know he was going to do all that.
Between the budget and the timeline, it's makeover madness.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, the job search can be a very daunting task, and if you make it to being invited to lunch or dinner with a future employer, Bill Humbert gives us all tips and tricks on how to make sure that you eat and order appropriately during an interview. Now, our next guest is no stranger to the show here, and we are excited to have him back and to talk about two very important subjects, both from a candidate perspective as well as from a company perspective, and what it looks like when you are on the job search or you are looking for that next member to join your team. Joining me today is the award-winning recruiterguy.com, Bill Humbert. Bill, how are you this morning?
Kimberly, I'm great. Great to be interviewed by you again.
Absolutely. Well, thrilled to have you on the show. Congratulations. You've recently won an award. Tell us about the award.
This was really cool. Corporate Vision magazine gave me an award. They're in Great Britain. I didn't even know they existed, quite honestly. And it was the most innovative leadership talent attraction consultancy for 2023.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. So they contacted me in, I don't know, November, and they told me I was one of the companies they were looking at. And we did a little interview. And then about 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, they said, hey, guess what? You're it. You're the winner.
Well, I would say that your winnings are definitely warranted by the work that you've put in and the advice and the consultative approach that you take for both companies and candidates. So I'd love to just jump in and get started. Now let's talk about the candidate first. You've had the first round interview. You are going to meet the team, and it may be over a meal or in a non-traditional office setting. So let's talk a little bit about the manners and the tips and tricks that you may have for that. So how would interviewing over a meal determine if you're the right cultural fit?
Well, think about it. Many times what they'll do is they'll have 2 or 3 people at the meal. They may be probably the hiring manager, sometimes might be an executive, and 1 or 2 members of the team that you would be working with. And if you get this far, that means your skills and your experience have checked the marks that they're looking for. Now they're trying to figure out, if we put this person, it might, maybe it's a customer support position, maybe it's a sales position. If we put this person in front of somebody who's very important to us, how will they act? And that's the reason that this is just the final little check mark before you get an offer.
Absolutely. So you're going out to dinner or you're going out to lunch, whatever it may be, you're sharing a meal. And oftentimes, and I think it is a forgotten skill, is your dining etiquette, especially when you're in a professional setting. So talk to us a little bit about that. What should you order? How should you eat? Give us some advice.
One thing that's important is many times they'll ask you if you would like to have an alcoholic drink, and it could be even over lunch. And the answer is no, thank you. And then order some non-alcoholic drink, iced tea, Coca-Cola, I don't care. And so the important thing is they're judging you on your actions. And so if you go ahead and order an alcoholic drink, then in their mind is this his or her normal practice to have alcohol with lunch? That's not a good thing. So that's number one. Number 2 is order something that's not messy. And I'm not going to name, you pick one that is your favorite pick off that menu, and then treat it don't talk with food in your mouth. The danger of that is spraying the interviewer, and that would be a game ender right there. So it's important to when you're eating and drinking to be very aware that they're watching closely what it is that you're doing.
Absolutely. Alcohol, loose lips sink ships, and especially during a job interview, you never know what may come out of your mouth. For sure.
That's right.
Now, speaking of, you mentioned food in your mouth and ordering the right thing. I would suggest using utensils or anything that involves a fork and a knife versus a messy sandwich unless you're taken to a barbecue place. So let's say you took a bite into a sandwich or the meal that you've ordered. Tell me a little bit about timing. How should you respond if somebody asks you a question right when you're taking a bite?
First of all, you need to understand that's intentional. They want to see how you're going to react to that. And too often people are kind of in a hurry. And so they'll try to start talking with food in their mouth. Don't do that. It's important to just, point in your mouth. I got food in my mouth. And, I'll answer the question in a second. And they'll accept that. And then when you get done chewing and swallow, then you can go ahead and, okay, now I'm ready to answer. So here's my response to your question. Now, the good news to that is that you also have a little bit extra time to call up the best response to that question.
That is the absolute truth. You have a little bit of time to buy in, but obviously be polite about it. Now, let's say you're on the on-site interview and they ask you to join for lunch afterward. Should you say yes, and is that a sign of interest?
I would advise saying yes. When I coach people on their job search, this is your chance to meet them from a more social perspective. At the same time, they're going to be cognizant that it's still an interview. So make sure that it's, professional. And for me, if you are on target with your responses to their questions and then ask them some good follow-up questions, such as, they've discussed a problem that they're having that they would like you to solve. William, my other job at so-and-so company, we faced a similar instance and we tried it this way, and this way worked really well. Have you tried that? And that gives them a sense for a little bit better sense for your experience and also how you think on your feet.
And that is an important piece of getting the job, is knowing how to pivot, for sure. Well, Bill, where can we go for more information to learn about proper interview etiquette and much more?
Well, go to my website, recruiterguy.com. And then in addition to that, my most recent book is Expect Success, The Science of the Over 50 Career Search. The person who gave me a 5-star review said, "You don't need to be 50. He just hit a niche. Pick it up at any age, and it's helpful for you." So I really love my book. It's the best of the 3 that I've written on career search. And I think that's a great book for you to use.
Awesome. And Bill, you've got such a great insight from that perspective, from helping the candidate find the job search, but you also have insight on the business side of things. Now, I cannot wait to dive into that a little bit further, but before we do that, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. And welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the Immersion Theater.
Sure hope you enjoyed that conversation about the brand Peppermint, but let's see all of the products that they have to offer. They give us a mini fashion show here in the studio. You know, we are at the beginning of a brand new year. Brand new year means new goals, whether it's personal or professional. And joining me today to talk about how you can apply for jobs, which is, I know, very intimidating to some people. I've got talent acquisition manager and business consultant Emily Gross on the couch with me today to give you all of the advice that you need. Emily, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, you are talent acquisition expert. You talk to people all day long. You hire people, you give advice, you train a team. So you know all things business and the ins and outs of it. So let's talk about 2024. We're coming into new technology, new ways to do things, whether it's looking for a job, whether it's writing a resume or a cover letter or even a headshot. So ChatGPT, I know that is the hot topic. Tell me all about it.
Yes, I am absolutely loving ChatGPT. I'm exploring with it. I'm learning more about its capabilities every day. And also job seekers, not only because it's a new year and people are looking for new opportunities, there's a lot of layoffs happening. Any of us can be looking for a job at any moment in time, of course. So we now have tools that can make it a lot easier. ChatGPT has been amazing. You can start by uploading your resume to ChatGPT with a job description of a job that you're interested in. even multiple if they're similar, and then prompt ChatGPT to cater that resume to those job descriptions. It's going to embed those keywords, and it's really going to help you look like the best candidate.
That's great. So you can literally take the job description of the job that you want, and then take your resume and tell ChatGPT to match them.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So when we use ChatGPT, so that's just with your resume, but oftentimes with the job search, you've got to have a cover letter, or it's intimidating to upload them into the search portal because you've got to enter in your employer, your address, what you did, all of those things. So how does ChatGPT help?
Yes. So writing a cover letter, I've heard from so many people that they're motivated, they're ready to go, they're applying to jobs, and then they get the upload the cover letter as well, and they're like, So don't be, intimidated by that. Go to ChatGPT, put your resume in again, put that job description in, and prompt it to write you a cover letter for that specific job. You can also add, I like to talk to my ChatGPT, so I'll say, add a little note about this and things like that. Then whatever version it gives you back, I'm always tweaking it, coaching it, really catering it. I'll say, make it more casual, make it shorter, make it more professional, make sure you mention this recent company accomplishment. So never really take the first version that it gives you, and you're going to learn so much of its capabilities by prompting it more and more.
That's great. Gone are the days of people who have careers in resume writing. So they're going to need to use ChatGPT to find their next job.
Yes.
That's great. So let's talk a little bit more about technology. So AI is great. So you mentioned for resumes and for cover letters, but how else can you use ChatGPT to help refine your professional profile?
Yes. So many things. Another thing that I was loving that it can do is you can upload, again, your resume, that job description, and the company information once you do have an interview scheduled. Then you can prompt ChatGPT to give you interview questions.
Oh, wow.
And then you can start answering them. Make sure you're using that star format with all of your answers. And you're going to be very prepared, because who knows, that hiring manager might even be using ChatGPT to generate those questions. So you're going to be very prepared, or it'll be similar questions. So that's another way it helps.
No, that's great. So you said star format.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's just making sure that you're really giving the full story. So when someone asks you about a challenge that you faced, again, stay away from saying, I usually or sometimes. We want to take them to a specific time and place where you faced a challenge, start to finish, the situation, the action that you took, and you cannot forget the results. So getting all of that together, practicing with ChatGPT, answering those questions is going to have all of your responses right on the tip of your tongue.
So if you got the interview, you use the ChatGPT, everything looks great, and now you're sitting with a hiring manager. How do you really wow a hiring manager in your questions? Like, what would you recommend as far as types of questions to ask, how to answer their questions, what to wear, all of that?
Sure. Well, I'm gonna say again, you can use ChatGPT. You can prompt ChatGPT with saying, what are some great interview questions for this interview that I could ask myself that will show my enthusiasm. Or a lot of times you can even have it reword something you're wondering about. I want to ask them about their last year. What's a great way to phrase that? So ChatGPT can help you. And again, all of this with AI, you still are going to put your personal touch on it, and that is really the magic. The AI is going to take, I think, a lot of the stress and a lot of the time that you would be spending on this, and it will allow yourself to be yourself, I personally think, because a lot of times I'll hear something great from ChatGPT, and I'm like, that's wonderful content. I know exactly now how to make it my own. So it's really helpful.
That's great. Now, if you're not necessarily looking, but you want your profile to look good, your professional profile. So how do you make it look good? When you're putting content on your profile, should it be exactly the same as your resume? And then also let's talk about what your picture should look like.
Yes, this is, I think, the fun stuff. I mean, it's all fun, but this gets really fun. So they are now offering AI-generated professional headshots. There are several different apps and websites that are offering it, so I'm not going to endorse one in particular. But the average price is about $30. A lot of them even have a 7-day trial. You upload about 10 pictures of yourself, and then it literally gives you hundreds of professional photos to choose from. And And when you get them back, you will see that AI still struggles with fingers and teeth. So the hundreds is useful, but you'll be surprised that they really are able to capture the essence of who you are, looking really professional.
I don't know if I should be excited or scared because that is impressive. So you usually about 10 photos and they generate 100 images from those 10.
Yes, and
Wow.
they give you all kinds of outfits and looks and colors, and you can customize. Say like, I don't like the color purple, I like the color blue, or what have you. So I just think it's super fun. And for a lot of people that don't have access to someone to take a photo of them, or good lighting, or professional clothes, I think it's a great way to get yourself out there started looking and feeling your best.
That's so important. And a lot of people don't even know how to pose in front of the camera at times.
Totally.
So that's a great way just to really elevate your professional profile.
Yes.
So other platforms. So we've been talking a lot about ChatGPT.
Yes.
We've talked about these photo apps that can give you a professional headshot. But there's got to be more out there. So tell me all about it.
Yes, I am learning about the full cycle ones now. The ones I've been hearing the most are Teal HQ and Use Massive. They will take you full cycle. They will create your resume for you based on a series of questions. A lot of them are multiple choice, so it creates an algorithm for you. You obviously put in your personal information as far as where you have worked and the things you've accomplished. Also be sure to make them measurable accomplishments on there. And then it will actually suggest jobs that you should apply to. It will apply to the jobs for you. It will keep track of the application status. It will even send follow-up communications for you. It's incredible. So they can even say that they can even apply to 300 jobs per month for you.
Wow.
I think it would be for someone who's maybe starting out younger in your career and you're just kind of open to a lot of different things. I do want to put a disclaimer out there. With any AI, be very careful with your personal information. Do not include your street address. You can put the city and state that you live in. Do not put your actual phone number. I would recommend creating a Google number. They're free, so absolutely please do that. I would also recommend just creating another Gmail account just for job applications. So everything's all in one place. It's a professional email address, and that way you're protected. Because if you're going to be sending your information to out to 300 people, we want it to be very secure. So please keep that in mind.
I love that you mentioned professional email address. I've seen some email addresses that should have been left in the 90s.
Same, but they give me a good laugh though. So
it's true. Well, Emily, where can we go to get career advice, to connect with you? Talk to me about how can we follow you and just use your knowledge.
Yeah. Anyone is welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Emily Gross. I do want to mention one other tool that I'm super excited about. If you don't mind, it's quick, but I was thrilled to hear this. So, when you're going and you're applying to jobs and then you upload your resume, your cover letter, you think you're all good to go, and then it prompts you to put in every single detail, month, year, a full application that's like 10 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
There's a web extension, a browser extension called Simplify, and it autofills for you.
Amazing.
I was so excited to hear that. So anyone can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Emily Gross. I love giving career advice. Again, we're living in a time where lots of people are getting laid off and all different things are happening. And I'm so passionate about helping people find their job in a less stressful way. So reach out.
You're very approachable, and I'm sure you've helped many careers change and many lives change. So Emily Gross on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Great. Well, we'll make sure that people connect with you there. And thank you for all of your knowledge and your information.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now stay tuned. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Good morning, Vail.
It's Saturday. You're probably going out on the town. Well, it is World Bartender Day, so make sure that you show your bartenders some extra love and extra tips when you are out and about today. Now, in the meantime, Covered Bridge shows us how to make a delicious cocktail in the kitchen. Let's take a look at that.
Hello and welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. I'm Kim Fuller, the editor-in-chief of Covered Bridge Magazine.
And I'm Bobby LaRue, the Director of Partnerships at Covered Bridge Magazine. Today we have Joe Newton back for another cocktail session here on TV8. I don't know if you guys have checked out the most recent issue of Covered Bridge, but we did feature 2 cocktails from Two Arrows. So Joe is with Root and Flower, which is a sister restaurant to Two Arrows, and he's going to bring us one of his new cocktails that's on the menu currently.
So Joe, which cocktail are you making for us today?
So today, this is actually Black Pearl. This is a special that comes and goes from the menu. So at Root and Flower, we always have our seasonal menus that we put out every year, but we're always really stoked to advertise, sell all our bartenders fresh creations, new cocktails on our chalkboard. And so every week, every day, we'll be changing it depending on ingredients and depending on the availability of what we have in stock.
Awesome.
So today we have the Black Pearl.
Okay.
Black Pearl was designed for a wedding last year. Black Pearl actually gets its name from one of my favorite cocktails in the classic repertoire of the bijou. So in French, bijou means jewel. And that refers to the gin, the chartreuse, and the sweet vermouth that makes up the cocktail. So the gin would be the diamond, the chartreuse would be the emerald, and then the sweet vermouth would be the ruby.
Wow.
So this is a jewel. So this one though, I call this Black Pearl. It builds on that in classic Root and Flower fashion, as many bartenders use the Mr. Potato Head theory. We've actually substituted out the gin for our favorite whiskey, Elijah Craig. So we're actually going to start off with 1.5 ounces of Elijah Craig.
Yeah, Root and Flower always does a great job of really hand-picking the spirits that you have on your shelves. Why Elijah Craig in this instance?
So Elijah Craig has, it's one of our favorite mixing whiskeys, and it's affordable, it's easily and readily available. It comes from the Heaven Hill Distillery, and the Heaven Hill Distillery has always been very supportive of Root and Flower and Two Arrows. We do get many of their high-end bourbons, which we absolutely love. So Elijah Craig would be their kind of go-to mixing whiskey.
Perfect.
And absolutely love it.
Great.
So, but building on the bijou idea and turning this into the Black Pearl, we are going to be going with chartreuse. Now, chartreuse is one of those spirits that is a little more difficult to find right now. So, fun little fact about chartreuse: it's made by monks in France, the Benedictine monks, and there are only 3 people in the world who know the recipe. The head monk knows the whole recipe, and his 2 subordinates, his acolytes, they know half the recipe each. So if one of them was to pass away, they could still share it, still make this. Now, there is actually a little supply issue with chartreuse right now, so we are lucky to still be able to have that in right now.
Okay.
With the chartreuse, the Pope himself has told the monks to stop making so much chartreuse and get back to praying, get back to what you should be doing, which we respect. But it has meant that chartreuse has become a little harder to find. But like I said, luckily at Root and Flower, we still have plenty of chartreuse for everybody.
This cocktail wouldn't be the same without it, right? There's not really a substitute.
So chartreuse falls in the Jeniper family. Jeniper is the flower of wormwood. And you can find other Jenipers that are a little bit more simplistic. They don't have the complexity though that chartreuse does. So there is really no equal to chartreuse.
Okay.
And finally, my favorite thing, Amaro Chicharro. So Amaro Chicharro, I pretty much put in everything: coffee, cocktails, our espresso martinis, and we're doing 3/4 of an ounce of that. So we kind of modify this Negroni build a little bit from the classic 1-1-1 recipe. So where I put 1.5 ounces of the whiskey, 0.75 of the Marijuana and 0.75 of the chartreuse. Just balances a little bit more, lets that alcohol shine through a little brighter. And we're going to be building this in our stirring tin right now.
Okay.
So everything's ready to go. Bobby, if you could have the ice, please.
Absolutely. Here you are, Joe.
Thank you, Bobby. So, as this cocktail is all spirits, we're going to be stirring it. So
yeah, I noticed on the last segment you mentioned citrus, and that's why you were shaking it. So is that kind of like a typical rule? Like
it is.
Citrus shake, pure liquor stir.
Yeah, right. So it's all about texture. A lot of people will think that it's bruising the alcohol if you shake a martini, for example. But this is actually all about the texture of the cocktail itself. So with the juice, you want to shake it up really hard. You're actually aerating the cocktail. You're providing little micro bubbles that pop on your tongue as you taste it and just like brings the cocktail to life.
Okay.
But if we're just using spirits or sugar, we want to stir it. We want that silky smooth mouthfeel.
All right.
And that is why we stir this.
I always wondered. Thank you.
So when we're stirring, it's all about elegance. All about grace.
So you're not like breaking the cube at all. You're just really letting it wash over the liquor.
So I'm letting the spoon stir, and we're going to be stirring for about 20 seconds.
I was going to ask, is there a rule of thumb on how
it's
long
about
we should
40
stir?
times. And here's the other fun fact about the science. The things I like to teach at Root and Flower are if you were to shake a cocktail and stir a cocktail to completion, they would both be the same temperature and dilution, which is kind of crazy to think about because you think, oh, a shaken cocktail is going to be colder. But in fact, if you do stir a cocktail properly, it'll be the exact same temperature and dilution.
It's just about the texture then.
It's just about the texture.
Awesome.
So with this one, we're actually going to be pouring this on one of my favorites, the Big Rock.
Oh, look at
So at
that.
Root and Flower, we do have the crystal clear ice cubes.
You can see right through that thing.
So special machine actually creates these. So it's like freezing lake ice. So the only way to make clear ice like this is directional freezing. So when you're freezing water, think of a lake. When it freezes, it's going to freeze from the top down, and it's going to push all the impurities out.
Got it.
Which is what exactly happens here.
Wow.
And so it pushes all the impurities out, and you're left with this crystal clear block, which we then hand carve each one of these with a knife, very sharp knife. And it's it's my meditation for the day.
I like that.
That's great.
Well put.
Oh, wow, beautiful.
Look at that.
Really nice. Black Pearl, well named.
You can see that richness.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Dilution. We might have left it on the ice a little too long. And then for this one, I do like, so with our last segment, we had our orange sprays, but sometimes we like a little visual pop. So we'll take a fresh orange.
And you were just getting like the oils out of
We're
the...
expressing the oils over the glass. And I like to rub the orange peel around as well. Now at the bar, we like to make every drink look super pretty. So we actually have scissors at every station where we can quickly just cut each peel to be needed.
Gorgeous.
And then we have our cocktail right there.
Look at that. Well, yeah, definitely go see Joe, a
Mm-hmm.
lead bartender at Root and Flower, and he has cocktail classes. Root and
Mm-hmm.
Flower also has wine classes, spirit classes, sister bar and coffee house, Two Arrows, pretty much a little bit across Vail Village is a great place to find other wonderful cocktails. So Joe, thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, thank you guys.
It's great having
you. Good to be here.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for watching Covered Bridge on TV8.
Spooky and Scott Show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions often unheard in the mainstream media. live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Welcome to the Vibe Report with Avisha. This is where I tell you all about the exciting happenings around town. This Saturday and Sunday, there will be live music at Gambit Bar, Shakedown Bar, Park Hyatt Beaver Creek, the Red Lion, the Blue Cow, the Weston Riverfront, and the Revel Lounge at the Hype. On Saturday, Aritza Spanish Tapas and Wine in Beaver Creek will have a live flamenco show. Also on Saturday, Chasing Rabbits will have an intimate night of grooves with Trace Mortimer and Monty Kiddo, and House Calls with Rossi at Chasing Rabbits is on Sunday. Also on Saturday night is Cocktails and Clay at the Alpine Arts Center in Edwards. You can join and make ceramic aspen vases, and registration is at alpineartcenter.org. And the sky's the limit when it comes to the Youth Aviation Program. They'll be building a full-size biplane on Saturday at the Eagle County Regional Airport. Check out Eagle Aviators for more info on how to register. That's it for this weekend's Vibe Report, friends. Be sure to follow the Vail Vibes TV8 Instagram for more info, and as always, spread the good vibes.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Fleshaw, host of TV8 Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tv8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Good morning, Vail.
Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us on this morning's edition of Good Morning Vail. It is World Bartender Day, so tip your bartenders extra well. Plus, talent acquisition manager Emily Gross and Bill Humbert giving us all kinds of advice on how to really wow your future employers. And then on top of that, drinking vessels, big event tonight, the Vail Cup Collectors Club. So make sure that you buy your tickets. You can interact with all kinds of incredible artists. And then as always, we love adventures in coaching and Covered Bridge. So thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Kimberly Pro, and I'll see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. You're home in the Rockies.